welcome to the very first episode of Iconic Perspective. My name is Henry Uche Mirau. Henry, if you're meeting me for the first time or you're an acquaintance, Uche, if you're family or your friends. All right, so the Iconic Perspective is an audio visual podcast where we get to discuss about the issues affecting the youth, be it business, relationship, family, even sexual topic. Okay, so before I go to the conversation of today, I'm not alone here. Let me introduce the people in the house. To my left is Mrs. Ifeoluwa Adedeji. She's the business owner, Crownies Collection. She's a loving wife and a beautiful mother. And to my right, we have Mrs. Olayinka. She's the business owner, Ashtrick Cakes and Events. She's also a loving wife and a beautiful mother. And to my extreme right, we have the firebrand, the delectable, beautiful Mrs. Williams. She is the business owner, Desired Native Pot. All those online food, where we say, una fit order food, she's sabi cook, no doubt. Our food is amazing, we've tasted it. All those single guys where they see where they get stomach and they never marry, now this online food, now they patronize. So you can patronize her. I'm sure some people where they will look me now go look say, I dey introduce this one. Loving mother, loving wife, loving mother, loving wife. Me nko. Well, my brethren, I am among those people that the Bible says, occupy it like come. So we are still here. So moving on to today's conversation, we are going to be talking about the roles of a man and woman in relationship or in marriage. Is this still the same or has it changed? You know, in the olden days, during the days of our mothers and our grandmothers, they know their job. Anyone going into marriage know what they are supposed to do. But now, these days, young people now, woman now, don't they do man work? Man now, don't they do woman work? That's why we are even having conversations like, what do you even bring to the table? Because there are some females now who will say, I cannot marry a man that doesn't know how to cook. The man must know how to do house chores before I marry him. And you get some men say, we go talk, say, woman we no get handwork, or we no get business, or we no get job, I no fit dey marry him. So now, the question I'm asking everybody in the house, the very first question I'm asking everybody is, the role of a man and a woman, has it changed or is it still the same? And I'll start with the oldest among us. She don't get many years for marital experience, so maybe now she fit tell us how it be those period. So, Mrs. Olayinka, I'm going to start with you actually because when you don't marry, most of us don't even they think of relationships, not to talk of marriage. During those period, are people actually asking themselves, what do you bring to the table? Or does a man knows his role and does a woman knows her role in family or relationship? How was it like then when you started?
Okay, by the grace of God now, this year will make 20 years now to my marriage. It's only by God's grace. You know, things have really changed. I remember then, our men, then they go farm. Woman go their house, they cook, they take care of children. But now, you see, say, women now, they want to achieve too, you understand? They want to be a career woman. So many things have changed. A woman go one work, husband too go one work. Hey, you understand? So many things have changed. No be like before. Where woman they house. Where we say a man go out, go look for daily bread. But things have really changed now.
Okay. Mrs. Williams, make I even come to you, sir. When you and your husband won't marry, did you guys have that conversation of what do you bring to the table? What can you offer me? How are we going to actually do this marriage that we are getting in? When I get that kind of conversation.
Okay, let me start by saying when I met my husband,
Yeah.
I had a store. It was small, but as time goes by, it became bigger after I married him. So he has always known me to be
A
this,
working woman.
yes, I would never want to stay at home for any reason. So he knows that me, I be work. I can me, I fit do anything. Even before I got married, I was into activation job. I had to leave my store to go to island to do other job just to be able to
Yeah.
put things together. And me, I'm not from a wealthy home. So just because I don't want to be like my mom, I try to do other things just to make ends meet. And that's the way it is. Oh.
When you wanted to marry, were you asking your husband there, or was do you know how to cook? Do you know how to arrange house? Was it part of the
And
criteria for getting married?
no, 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 to me, oh, no. Because even at the time then, my husband didn't even know how to cook. I was the one actually teaching him and directing him on what to do. But in terms of house chores, he does it perfectly without me even getting complaint. Even up to this very moment, he does the house chores without any complaint. And it's not a must I must be sick before he does all those things. I think marriage has to be understanding and you have to be committed to your partner.
So wait say I want to know now, and I want to ask all the females here, because all of us are not blind. We know what's going on in the society. Now the question I want to ask is, why are women trying to domesticate men? Why is trying knowing how to cook, knowing how to change baby diaper? Why is it a criteria? Maybe Mrs. Adedeji go fit help. Why are women trying to bring out these things? Men have their duties, innit?
Okay.
So why are women trying to domesticate? Because I was watching a reels on Instagram, and the lady in question, she was like, "Oh, women need help. Women need help. The women that need help in this, and women need help in that." And I'm looking at it like looking at the biblical creation of man and woman. Women, according to the Bible, women were created to help the men. But now we are in 2023. It can't be like say people wait God creates to help the men. Now then come they need help. So why is it like that? That's their preference. If a man doesn't know how to be homely, doesn't know how to be domestic, doesn't know how to cook, they're not going to get married to him. Why is it like that?
That is why it is said now that let parents raise their sons too. You can't just raise the female child alone. Because at a point, the woman is going to break down. You can't continue, you want to do this, you want to sleep, you want to cook, you want to go to work, you want to make money. It's tiring. You can be mentally drained. That's why you see some women say they come to the house after the whole day, they are still coming back home. They still get tired. Even to have sex with the husband, say they are tired because they have gone through stress in the day. So that is why a man needs to be helpful. You can't just leave the woman to do everything.
I think this all boils down to the fact that, like you said, times have changed. First of all, let me just say this. Looking at it from the history, in the olden days, women don't work. Men were the one in charge of provision and protection. Women don't work. Now, with technology and everything, women now don't they do what man they do. Men don't they do what women do. Like some women now, they are self-made. They are single women who are making money.
Yeah.
They don't need a man to provide for them.
Yes.
Sure.
And most of them will tell you, because of their making money, they'll ask you, why do I need a man? And there are also guys too who they are staying alone. Now then they cook, now then they clean. There's washing machine now. There is desired native pots to supply them with food. So they are now asking themselves, why do I need a woman? And I think in the olden days, men and women coming together was due to the need for each other. Like for a woman, you have to be married to enjoy the benefit of a man. And for a man, you have to be married to enjoy the benefit of a woman. Now, people are enjoying the benefit of each other without getting married. So now they're asking themselves, why do I even need to get married? Funny enough, what you said now reminds me of an experience I had. I, I was in Magodo. True story. I was in Magodo and I met a very lovely female, very wonderful. She's beautiful and she's hardworking. She has her own money. She's paying her rent. She has a very nice car. She became my friend. We did a couple of businesses together. And after a while, when we got talking, we were having a business lunch, and she looked at me and she was like, Henry, you're good looking, you and I have spoken, you're intelligent. I don't want to get married, but I want to have a child. Can you get me pregnant so I can have a child? You and I will sign a contract. You have nothing to do with the child. The child will be mine. and I'll take care of my child. And in my head, I was
See,
thinking,
that's
Yeah, well,
Enrique,
surrogate father now.
in my head, because now, according to what you said, it seems the only thing joining men and women together is family and children. Because she was looking at me like she doesn't want the stress of marriage, but she wants to have a child. And I was telling her, like, okay, why don't you go to hospital? Hospital will get you all these sperm donors and everything. And she was like, but she doesn't know the men who are donating those things. So she doesn't want someone that is mentally deranged. And since she knows me, I'm like, madam, this is not Nollywood. The only way this thing can work is if you brainwash me and I don't know that I have a child. But I will know I have a child somewhere. And in the 5, 10 years, I will still come. And because of that, she actually stopped talking to me. We are no longer doing business together. And the reason I brought this up is because there are so many people out there who, these days now, you don't even have to be married to become fathers. There are fathers who are fathers, but they are not married. So now, all of these people, why do they need to get married? Because the need for men and women is now diminishing. Is now, because of these technologies, women are making money, they are traveling. There's a woman who will tell you, without the man, they can comfortably take care of their children. So now, what the roles in male and female, how did it change? How did we get to this point in 2023 when we are only needing each other for family and children basis?
Like I said, things have really changed. You know, even the Bible said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord. But now things have really changed. It's the other way. Even men now, they're even afraid to marry a career woman. They will say, if I marry this career woman, she has all she can, afford. Won't she be riding me? Won't she be, will she be submissive? You understand that kind of thing? Things have changed, not like before. That is why men now, they don't want to marry. They believe they can do it all on their own. Likewise, women too. They don't want to be submissive. They'll say, after all, I have everything at my beck and call. So why should a man now, you understand?
Yeah.
So things have really changed. That's it.
What I want to find out now is, what is the way going forward? How can we actually, because the way it goes, so technology is also one thing. I don't know how
Yes.
many of you saw the news which day that Elon Musk is building
A
robot wife
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
that is selling for $3,000. Once robot wife enter markets, I don't know, maybe that part of the Bible that says 7 women, 1 man, maybe in idea it will start from, but because technologies are making it look like you don't need each other. If you look at it very well, these people are trying to use technologies to exchange natural for artificial, and they're trying to make money from it.
We need each other.
A man needs
A man, a woman needs
a man.
How can we accept that need? Because, like I said earlier, people don't they enjoy marital benefits without getting married.
Even with the robot human being or whatever, it can never be natural. It can never be like the real human being.
Exactly.
You understand? It can never be.
Natural is different from artificial.
Yes.
So you need that natural vibe.
even with the old technology thing and everything, we still have 85% of women that still want to have a family. Even with this old technology, career, and everything, we still have 85% of women that want to have a family. I want to get married to this type of man. I want this type of. This is how I want my marriage to be. Not even knowing that marriage is actually hard work, but it is still in their head that I want to have a family. I want to have this type of love. So there's no how we want to do it.
Can I be sincere with you? The truth of the matter is, from that 85%, 80 out of those 85% are women who are not financially stable and are looking for a man to upgrade financially. Only 5% that you can actually say are traditional. The people are seeing marriage now as an opportunity.
I don't think so. I don't agree.
That's the
I
honest
don't
truth.
agree,
If you see any lady now that really wants to get married,
Okay.
that lady is really not doing. You will hardly see a lady doing well financially and say, "I'm looking for a husband."
That is why I still
don't
say
disagree. I
most
disagree.
career women now, they don't want to be submissive.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's just it.
You would
You
have
say you have everything, you understand. I can't let a man ride, permit me to use the word ride. I don't want a man to ride me. You understand? But then in the olden days, I remember when my mom was still alive and still in the husband house. You know, no matter what the husband does to her, she still, despite the fact that I'm from a polygamous home, you know how polygamous families are. You understand? Despite the heat and everything, you know, she's still there. She still said, no, I'm going nowhere. Here I will die. Do you understand? But how many young girls or career women can, you know, go through such thing? Any small thing, because you have your money, you can fend yourself, they've gone. Do you understand? I still want to believe that submission is still part of it. Career women that we have now, they find it difficult to submit to their husband. That's one of the major problems.
During your mom's time,
Yes.
that whatever it was then, that she will still stay. Okay. I want you to share more light. Was she going on? No, there's some there's some torture. See, all women are not wired the same. What party A can endure, party B might not be able to endure.
Yes.
And you cannot blame party B for not
Enduring.
enduring what party A is able to endure. So Aisha, you tell me now that because we still have submissive women out
Yeah,
there
that are rich.
that are very wealthy.
Yes.
They are submissive. They are loyal, respectful to their husband. And yet, they still don't have this love. They still don't have this care, like their husband caring for them. Their husband still leave them, still go out there to cheat on them. And they will still bring in different kind of diseases. So all this, if I happen to be that woman who is so submissive, wealthy, respectful to her husband, and yet my husband is still maltreating me, or still wanting me to be like my neighbor. So in this case now, what am I expected to do? Am I supposed to stay in that marriage that the man is always beating me, always nagging, not wanting to respect me? What do we do? Am I supposed to stay that kind of marriage because my mom endured all this, so therefore I must endure this suffering?
When I said my mom endured all this, you see, there are some things that could be a deal breaker for you, and it might not be a deal breaker for me. When it comes to a relationship or a marriage, and it goes beyond, and it gets to the extent that the husband is now beating the wife, you understand? That one, to me, is a deal breaker. You understand? What are you still doing in that marriage? When I said my mother endured, you understand? I didn't say maybe she was going through torturing. You know, there are some things. In the olden days, the fathers, don't they cheat? That's why they have 3, 4 wives at home. They still go outside, they have concubines, right? But now, how many girls, just because, okay, I found my husband, or I heard, or I saw my husband, he's dating a girl, you understand, to that person is enough for her to, to leave the marriage. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to beating, I don't think the woman should stay. So when I said my mommy went through a lot, I've never seen my daddy raise his hand to beat my mother. You understand? But there are some things that we know that, mommy, you are so patient, so you understand. Especially, I don't want to go into it, but let me just give you some few scenarios.
Okay,
like my our first, how do we call it? Iyale, because my mom is Iyawo. She has Iyale. When they start this fight, Iyale, she cannot fight, but she has mouth. She has a flippant mouth. And my mommy, she's ready for battle. She will go inside wear her Bobby Brown trouser. My Yale, she will be upstairs raising curses at my mommy. My mommy will be telling her, "Oh yeah, come down." You know those kind of things. Probably that you understand. There were so many. It was in fact Oshinawa house of commotion then. Then we the children were even saying, "Hey, I will not marry a man that has a wife. I don't want to go into a polygamous home." Because we know of so many different things we faced. But still yet, even in that heat, my mom did not go out. And we've never experienced my daddy raise his hands. You understand? There can be exchange of verbal, abusive words, but to the extent of raising hands, even my mommy and Iyale and Iyawo, they will just raise abusive words. So it's not that they are fighting, and you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's it. Things have really changed. That's just it.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Are you trying to say
cheating
partner is not a
is
deal
not
breaker.
a criteria.
When I say
For us
cheating
to
partner, what might be a deal breaker to you might not be a deal breaker to me. I've heard or we've had situations whereby because of toothpaste, this is how you are supposed to press toothpaste. So maybe the husband press it from down, and the wife say no, you are supposed to press it up. It could be a deal breaker for that person. You understand? So what might be your deal breaker might not be my own. To me, my own deal breaker is when my husband raises his hands to beat me. You
And
understand?
for me,
That is
for
it.
me, I think
I'm done with the marriage.
That
the,
should be
the,
every
the reason
woman's
the
deal
reason
breaker.
why a woman would even be thinking to leave is because she knows she can afford to leave. Women who know they can afford to leave, any little thing the man does, they will take it as an issue. Because they know they can actually afford to live on their. Okay, let's just say in the olden days now.
Even if you cannot afford
Women-
to leave,
Nah.
we now still stay in that marriage and
No,
die.
women in the olden days, they
man-
don't go to farm, they don't go hunting. In the olden days, they don't go to the farm, they don't go hunting, they don't go fishing.
But things have changed now.
That's what I'm saying. They depend on the man to
Me.
eat and survive.
Yes.
So, which means that the fact that they cannot survive on their own, which means that they endured what is there because
I
of survival.
disagree.
Now,
Even in the olden
calm
days,
down.
there
I
were cases of
disagree.
divorce
The
now.
thing is, what I'm saying is
They do
now
that.
women are comfortable. Some women are comfortable. So now, even if you are not putting the plates in the right place, if you are not calling them with sweet names, they can take it as something because they know that if I leave you now, okay, let's say in countries like America, innit? When you are divorced, you get to share half of your properties. So a woman staying with you is doing you a favor because the moment she wakes up and says, "I don't want to be with you," she's taking half of your property. She knows that she can survive on her own. So now men are shaking and afraid to offend. So you don't leave and start. We all heard of this footballer issue that puts all his property in his mother's name and everything. That is the society we are now living in. That men now are now afraid to be men because they don't want the woman to just wake up and say, "Oh, I don't even like the way you look me this morning. I'm not interested again." Because they know that by leaving, they have the advantage. They can remarry. They will have your property with the new husband's property. The children will be with them, not even with you. So now,
But not in Nigeria here.
not in
Exactly.
Nigeria here. So
let's-
even in Nigeria here, there are women who are comfortable. And they know that as a man, even if you tell them you are mad, they can wake up and go. Because they can afford a new apartment. They can afford to train their children. Why do they need you?
I-
So marriage now is looking like an institute of convenience. It's convenient for me. Okay, I don't want to start having separate children for different men. So let me just stay with you. It's not like you're making me happy and everything. Because if you're looking at it generally, women have found a way to satisfy themselves in all ways. They are working, they can buy stuff themselves.
Yeah.
Even when it comes sexually now, there are now toys and all those things that women use to satisfy themselves. So now that is why I'm asking, how do we even get back to the basics of people coming together because they want to, not even because they are seeing an opportunity somewhere?
we have some people that have marriage of convenience. Whether you give me money, you're not giving me money. I just want to be here. Like, I have my money, you have your money.
Yeah.
Let me just bear your name because of some certain things. You know, there's some people that really like, okay, you can't get to a certain position if you are not married. You know, it
Yeah.
happens in some companies. So some people are there, like, okay, let me just.
But is that not still a marriage of convenience?
Let me see. I disagree with something you were saying that some ladies are in, like you were saying.
They are staying because they
don't
cannot
have-
afford
Yes,
to stay on their
I'm
own.
sorry, I don't think so. I don't think so because I still see some people that I still see some marriages that strive, whether there is money or not. They are even without the money. If they are ready to go, they are going.
But seriously, if you are looking at it statistically, money is the number one cause of
Yes.
marriage
Money
failures,
comes-
especially in this part of the country. Either too much money or lack of money. Too much money has caused an issue. Because you see, funny enough, there are some billionaire men, very wealthy, but the wife are still unhappy because they will say the man is not dedicating time. The man will buy them everything they want, but he's not dedicating that time, and they're unhappy, and they leave. Is that not too much money being a cause of the issue? So either it's too much money or lack of money. Money has been a cause of marital issues in this part of the world. That's why I'm saying there are some ladies who are actually getting married because they feel this man would offer them that comfort and that luxury that they are looking for. Not because in their hearts they even want to marry or they love him. That's why there's a saying these days that young females now are living who they love and they are marrying who is ready. Because the person that they love may not be ready financially. And the person who is ready financially may not be who they love. And when they are looking at what's this what they call it now, biological clock and female time, they'll be like, before I go even wait for this man now, who know when God will bless him? Make a cuckoo day for this person way in money and I this see.
So are we now saying that is money is important? I'm not saying it's not important, but are we saying it is?
Now, like the criteria.
Like, is it really?
Okay, now let me even pray to the floor. Now let me put this in the hands of the females. Where do you think men are doing wrong? Mona Bashos. Mona Bashos. Where do you think men are doing it wrong or are getting it wrong?
In many ways.
In many ways.
To me, it might not be money. Some women, maybe in their sexual relationship, will be a deal breaker for them.
Yes.
And say this man is not performing well to her expectations. You understand? It could be. Yes. Some women, maybe they're the kind that maybe when they were still courting, they like going to club, and when they are married, the husband, you understand? Some women, they are the type lovey-dovey, maybe when the husband comes, when they were still courting, peck, I love you, you know, all those kind. But now when they are married with children, she's not having those words of affirmations again. It could be. So there are different strokes for different folks. That's just it.
Mommy, there was something you said earlier. You quoted a Bible verse that says,
"He that findeth a wife,
findeth a good thing." I was talking with a minister which day, and he was asking me, like, we're talking about this marriage talk, and I was asking him, why do I even need to get married? And he quoted that verse. He said, "He that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, and obtain favor from the Lord." And I asked him, should I get married because I'm looking for favor from the Lord? Is that not a selfish reason to get married?
No, because you might even marry a wrong person, and you might not
and you cannot
find favor from the Lord.
Exactly. So
So
now,
you marry a wrong person, definitely you.
let me use the example of a celebrity that we know. Let's say someone like Wizkid, for example. Now, he has money, he has females around him, he has children. Why does someone like Wizkid need to get married?
For him, he doesn't need the marriage because he will feel like maybe he has money, he has enough money, and he has a baby mamas.
We can't even.
That's part of my
He
point.
can still get married. If Davido can
They
get
are
married,
married, so definitely Wizkid can get
still have
married.
baby mamas.
The question I'm asking is why does he need it? Now, the same thing with a woman too. Let's say a woman.
That question,
what we are
sorry,
saying.
pardon me, please. That question there, why we cannot answer it? To me, I cannot answer it because I don't know.
What he's looking for?
Yes,
Exactly.
we might say, okay, I just want 3 mamas, beautiful mamas, to have children for me. I don't want any woman in my house. I don't want to be married. So you understand? Maybe that's the way he wants it. So to me, we can't answer that
I feel
question.
people that go into marriage, like they understand the benefits of marriage. Because when we are taking, like if we are taking Davido as an example,
Yeah.
for him to get married, so definitely I think he has gotten to that extent that okay, I really need a woman in my life. Because it feels like okay, goes to shows, do this, do that. He will still need to come back to somebody in the house. Or someone to cry on, someone he needs a companion.
Yeah.
So,
So we're talking about the roles of male and female. Looking at this 2023, things have changed, like we all agree. What are the new roles now? Because this thing has been a struggle. Because lately, as the young ladies in the house will agree with me, one of the topic of these days is what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Essentially, what do you bring to the table means is how can you be useful to me? That's essentially what it means. How me marrying you now, how can you benefit my own life? So now, how is it that since the role has changed, what do we think are the new roles for male and females? And men are having issues, especially with the fact that females are trying to domesticate men. Oh, he must know how to cook. He must.
No.
Stop
Please try to
domesticating.
explain yourself. How do women, how are women trying to
How we
domesticate
go-
men?
That's what I'm saying. Most women now, they will tell you now that if you don't know how to change baby diapers, if you don't know how to cook, if you cannot arrange the
So
house,
when
you
God
cannot marry
created
you.
women as a helpmate, are we not helpmates? The men too, also. Okay, if I go out from morning and come back around 10 or 11 and the man is there in the house around 4 o'clock, you mean you cannot do anything?
Mommy, I don't think you ever see a man who would say, I can't marry a woman who cannot change car engine oil, or who cannot service generator. That's the truth. Okay, now, mommy, do you know if a man and a woman are in the house and the man is going out, he enters his car cannot start. Do you know what he will do? He will open the bonnet, he will check. If a woman is the one going out, she enters the car cannot start. Mommy, what do you think the woman
I
will do?
will come out and check the bonnet too. I will check the bonnet too. Women change
Mommy,
tires of cars.
you will
So that
go
one is
inside and
not-
call your husband that this car is not starting. You will tell your husband that this car is not starting.
Yeah,
But wait,
It's true
I'm
because
not seeing it that women are trying to dictate men.
Yes.
Because if you are a good man, or as a responsible man, you are
Abi.
married to a woman, you're not married to a slave
Yes.
or a maid. And you should be able to do some things in the house now. Okay, for example, now you as a man, you are working. Me, I'm also working. So let's say like some days that I might come back from work today.
And yeah, okay, late.
You as the man, you come back very early.
Early.
So what's stopping from trying to do one of them? Maybe trying to cook something for us to eat for dinner.
I made dinner.
Uche, let me ask you this question. We are
No,
married.
I'm not even done
Sorry
yet.
there.
I'm not even done yet. No, that's the thing now. That's
It's
the truth
true.
now. Okay, what about maybe for example, I fall sick now. I'm not able to do something in the house. What's wrong with you, my husband, trying to help me to do something?
It's
Maybe
not
sweep the
necessary
house,
to fall sick.
Hey, must I even fall sick?
Must
to
I
help
fall
me in
sick
the house?
before you can help me?
Me, I'll be using my own marriage as an example. Like my husband, I don't need to get sick or fall sick before he has to be in the house. There are days that I'll just be in the house. I'll just naturally be lazy. Sometimes it happens like
There are
that.
some lazy days.
You don't even feel like lifting this bottle
Even
of
bath.
water. So you get so that is like babe, just relax. Make I just do the thing. You will help me clean the house.
Now,
You will help me wash the dishes. At times, even go as far as go to the market to get things and cook for me. It's not until I fall sick.
But isn't this what I said earlier that because funny enough,
That doesn't mean
you
she's
would
not
never see
using
a
the
man-
husband as a
It is
domestic.
what he wants to do.
See-
I will never tell my husband that, babe, carry this plate, go and wash it. Babe, carry this clothes, go and do this. Okay, since I got married, I have
Yeah.
a washing machine in the house, but I will say that I've only washed clothes once. My husband does the laundry. I've never for once told my husband, okay,
That
babe,
is what
carry this clothes, go and wash them. No.
since when I've
Because
gotten, I've not gone to the market.
us
I
as
can count how many
helpmates.
times I went to
We need
market.
help one another.
Understanding
That's
matters.
what I'm trying to say.
Understanding.
You would
And if you're also, I'm coming, I'm not done. And if you are the type that you have this husband that helps out,
Yes.
Yeah.
be able to, and you respect
Yes,
that man, because it's
respect.
not easy.
Respect
It's not
will
every,
come naturally.
so it's not all men that want to do the same.
Yeah.
The time that I'm not done, Uche, I will finish it. Just listen. Okay, there was this day that he was washing the dishes. I was like, babe, what if your family member comes in now and they see you washing plates? You know, what do you think they feel about, like, excuse me, is he married to my family? I'm to their family. That I'm his wife. So he's going to assist me if he wants to assist me. I don't want to start going, apart from even washing clothes, he wash other things without me even saying it.
But that is like what?
It's
That
your
is like,
concern. No, Alex, I don't think that. He don't even then when my baby was still very little, that was down, I couldn't really do much. I was telling my husband, like, let me call a friend of mine that stays 2 streets away from my place that she come help me take care of my baby, like bathe my daughter. Then I think Ella was about 6-7 months. Then he said, why did I want to go and call my friend to assist me?
When
That
he
he would be the one
he
to
will
bathe
do it.
Ella. He had to bathe Ella. I was directing him, but he bathed Ella. Even had to change Ella's diaper. Dressed Ella up. So it's just that some men are very selfish and they just feel because I'm the head of the house. So
Yes,
I don't think I need to do
I need to
anything.
do this.
Because they are providing. So they think so the woman should come and die.
Yes.
She wants to say herself as helpmate, not
what,
as slave.
what I want you to understand is
Okay.
women are of the expectations that men should be able to do these things. But you would not see a man who would want.
Which they are still going
Listen,
back to this thing.
calm
I
down.
don't understand.
There's a point I'm trying to make. You would not see a man who would intentionally want any woman to take up his own responsibility. Let me give an example now. Let's assume now that a man is not feeling too well physically, but you guys drive out for a meeting or a conference that you can't postpone. And on the way back home, you guys have a flat tire. Irrespective of the man is not feeling too well, he would not say because he's not feeling too well, you should stand up and go and change the tire. He will still do it.
See,
He will still do it. He's not going to say,
If
"Oh,
the
I'm not
woman
feeling
can
too
change the
strong."
flat tire, there's
No,
nothing wrong with
he's still
woman
going
to
to
go
do
and
it
change the
because he
flat tire.
feels as a
But
man, he
most
has to do
women,
it.
Okay,
He's not going to
listen,
look on you to
okay.
do it.
Okay, ma, sorry. What of just maybe if I have a newborn now, okay? Because I'm sick, I will not say, okay, I will not breastfeed
I will not breastfeed my
My
child.
husband
That
should
is
help me
the for
breastfeed my
breastfeed.
child.
That is
That's the way it
exactly.
is.
Because he's unable to. Not that he doesn't want to, he's unable to. It's a different case, isn't it? You are the only one who is able to. But in the case of like the
Okay,
flat tire I
if it's
gave,
what I can
those
do.
people can do it.
If it's what I
Okay,
can do,
let,
yeah,
let,
okay,
me,
I
let
can
me
change
quickly
the tire.
Why can't I
let me
change the
quickly
tire?
chip in something to what you said concerning the flat tire.
Okay, man.
If the woman knows how to change flat tire and comes down and change the flat tire, to me there's nothing wrong.
not a
But
big deal.
because of a man's egoism, people are passing by, they
Yeah,
say,
they will
see,
not see.
see this yeye man.
They won't even
Now the
allow the
woman, they
woman to
change flat tire for her, and the man, they don't know what's going on with the woman, with the man.
That is the part
So you
I'm trying to
understand?
talk about.
Yes.
It's not even the action in itself, it's the expectation. That's what I'm even trying to face. It's the expectation. People will naturally expect.
That is it, society.
That's exactly what I'm
Yes.
trying to face. So I'm not saying that even cooking itself is a survival skills. There are bachelors who are staying alone and they cook.
Of course.
They have to eat, innit? So it's a survival skill, but there's an expectation that comes with some responsibilities.
Yes.
So now women are now expecting that men should be able to carry out. That was why earlier I said that we're looking at the early creation, that women were created to help, but now they are the ones who are now needing the help. Women are now having the
They are
expectation.
helpmates for each other. Not
It's
that
helpmate,
woman,
oh.
no point
Is it-
of correction.
we
Let
are
me,
helpmates.
That-
they're
that's not how Bible
helpmates,
says it,
helpmates to each other. No, not that. They're helpmates to
Yes.
each other.
Know how to cook.
Yes, now.
That one.
There's something that will tell you that they cannot marry a woman
Use your mic,
who
please.
is not able to cook.
They cannot marry a woman who is not able to cook. It's based on the expectation. Because there's an expectation. Do you know it is strange in the ear for you to hear a woman cannot cook? It is strange. Why? Because of the expectation. We naturally expect that every full-grown woman should know how
Know
to
how
cook.
to cook.
That is the general socialization
But it's not every woman
expectation.
that knows how to cook, or it's not
Because
every woman that even likes the kitchen.
It's not everyone, but there's a natural expectation. Now, that's what I'm saying now is the roles are changing due to the expectation that we are having from each other. That is how these roles are changing. Women now feel that men are taking them as slaves. So they are now increasing the expectation and the criteria of the kind of men.
Increasing.
They are increasing it because in the olden days,
I don't think that's
let me
the
bear me
right
witness.
word to use.
In the olden days, do men enter kitchen? Yes or no?
Yes, they do.
Yes, now.
They do
Yes, they do.
by willingness or
Just
by
like
forcefulness.
asking me in the olden days, was there a case of divorce? Were there cases of divorce? You understand? Yes.
There was divorce.
Men enter, but just like you said, it's always expected for a woman to know how to cook. It's always expected for a woman to be the one in the kitchen, right? But don't we have men that are chefs that are even better at cooking than the wife? My husband, let me bust your bubble here. When we're in courtship, there's nothing my husband does not know how to cook. Then I was even scared. When I marry this man, what will I now, you understand, be cooking for him? Do you understand? So in the olden days too, men do go to the kitchen. Now let's come back to in the new days now,
Yeah.
you understand? Because of, like what I said earlier, women now want to be a career woman. In the olden days, we are always at home, taking care of the home, taking care of the children is the man that goes out to look for daily bread. But now we even see that women are even the breadwinner of the family. You don't expect me to go out since morning, since 5 o'clock and come back around 10 or 9 in the night and enter kitchen. And you are there, you didn't go out. So is that helpmate? There's nothing wrong. Not that we want to use men or we are using men as domestic whatever.
Yes.
We are helpmates to each other. Look at the example my sister cited concerning the diapers and, taking care of the children. There are some men, even on a good day, they'll say, yes, if you come back for your baby, no bath now. You understand? But because she has seen her better half, let me just put it that way, and understanding, they understand themselves. That is why they're not having clashes. Do you understand? But most marriages now is based on something. What do you have? Just like you say, what do you have on the table? What do you have to offer? So you understand? It's not real love. Some people,
compare.
and also trying to
compare.
compare.
Another person.
So you understand with other relationship. So that is why there are so much strife. Let me put it that way. Now, now that we have compared to the olden days.
But the question I want to ask is, do we feel that relationship in itself are the reason why we are having these issues? Because back then they didn't have relationship. The courtship is not even really like it is now. You're moving from your father's house to your husband's house. There was no relationship
There
in
was no
between.
courtship.
Yeah, there was no really that much courtship. But now we are in a generation whereby you see a guy, you see a girl, maybe they start dating by 1920, thereabout. Before they get to 27, 28, they've dated Kunle, they dated Emeka, they dated Ifeanyi, they dated Hakim. Now they're now getting married. That's all those experiences that they don't need will start affecting them. Maybe the husband is not providing the way Emeka used to provide. The husband is not showing them love the way Kunle used to provide. The husband is not good in bed the way Femi is. And is that not what is really leading to all of this? Because most
That was why I said you should not compare your marriage to some other person's own.
You can't have a perfect man.
There's
Also,
no
you can't have a
perfect man, there's
perfect
no
woman.
perfect man. You have
You know,
to
they'll.
you have to build your home the way you,
You
want
want
it
it
to
to
be.
be.
I cannot tell you, oh, Mr. Hay is doing like
This,
this.
so
My
you have to
husband
do
is
like
what
this.
Mr. Hay is doing.
Ah,
No,
no.
you have to, you as a good woman, you have to build your home into what
You
you want.
want it to be.
Exactly.
There's no perfect man, there's no perfect woman,
Yes.
there's no perfect marriage.
so where I want to go from
So
this
now,
is
that's to do with understanding. Understand your partner. Understanding has this important role to play in marriage. You have to understand one another. If your husband does not have money to give you at when you want it, try and understand. You try and really to say, fine, this person does not have. You know that when I have, I'll be good. You know when Mr. Ena tells you I don't have, you now owe this. Now I jack his check. I'm sorry, you now owe the check. Lock him up. It's not making any sense.
okay now. So where I'm going is because part of what we're doing here is for people to learn and understand. So going forward now, what how can we teach the youth coming up? How can you teach me who I never married when it comes to gender roles in relationship or marriages? How can they come to a compromise when it comes to each other's roles? Because now, if I say the two of them don't they enter themselves, men don't they do it in women they do, women don't they do it in men they do. The roles don't they enter themselves. So how can they coexist and need each other?
I think first you should know your partner. Know him, know her. Okay, this is what he can do. This is what she can do. And it's not something that you must do. You don't need to force.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Yeah, I would say just get a partner that you can accommodate.
Okay, tolerant.
You can tolerate.
Can
Okay,
tolerate.
this person is doing this. Okay, you can tolerate this person doing this.
Mommy,
And
give us
me, I
wisdom.
would say, never expect too much. Never expect too much. You understand? It's like when you expect too much, you go over the board. And again, communication is also very important. Communicate what you want and what you don't want, your do's and don'ts. You understand? Before you get married.
Okay. So this is it from the iconic perspective. I just want to say that everything that has been said here, there are our opinions, there are our thoughts, our views, our perspective. You can drop yours in the comment section if you have yours. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Iconic Perspective is brought to you by Glorious King Christian Center. We have our headquarters at 17 Araba Layout off Oluwakemi Alakwe Estate. You can join us for our midweek service, Wednesday Bible study, or our Sunday service, 8 a.m. Follow our church Instagram, YouTube, Glorious King channel, and enjoy all of our services. For me and for my beautiful and lovely females in the house, we say thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Bye.